Hey, nobles and daughters, just a brief message because I know everyone has had the question on their mind. Are we having a session? Well, let me say this first. The state of this organization across the domain in the 17 countries and 47 states is strong and vibrant. Yes, we are having a session August 13th through the 19th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The registration forms are available on the website. The housing information will be posted next week, okay, where you will be able to either download the form, fill it out, send it in, or you'll be able to register for your hotel reservations online using a credit card. So, in spite of what people are saying, yes, we are having a session. It's a full session. All activities are planned. We have had a donation of 100,000 N95 masks, 10,000 bottles, 8 ounces each of hand sanitizer. And we plan to give all of you some of those masks and a bottle of hand sanitizer in your kit when you arrive. A souvenir journal is being worked on. Get your ads in. Okay. The same printer that's handling our Pyramid magazine is handling the printing of the journal. The journal will come as a combined issue in the Pyramid magazine. And for those of you who don't subscribe to Pyramid magazine, they will also be mailed to you so that everyone who was in attendance and most people who subscribe will also receive a copy. I've eased the requirements for in-person gatherings. As long as you provide a copy of the local COVID-19 guidelines or restrictions and a description of the activity that you plan to hold, okay, your dispensation would be approved. The description and the guidelines must accompany the dispensation request, and they must be sent to my office. Only my office will approve dispensations for in-person events. This also gives you permission to return to in-person temple and/or court meetings following the same guidelines. You do not need a dispensation as long as you are meeting on your regular date. You also may continue virtual temple or court meetings if you choose to do so. So I'd like everybody to take a little time, get their registration form, fill it out, send it into the convention office in Memphis. You can also register online, okay, and use a credit card and or debit card. Understanding that there's a $6 processing fee for credit card usage. But you can do that by going into the membership portal on the website and completing the task. It's been a little last minute because of the pandemic and because of the restrictions that the city of Philadelphia had. We pursued alternate venues, but on May 11th, the mayor of the city of Philadelphia announced that he was lifting all restrictions as of June 11th. So we were therefore contractually obligated to fulfill in the city of Philadelphia. It's going to be a great time. This is a great place to come to. All of the activities that we normally have are planned and will happen, to include all of those events that the daughters perform. The Queen's Contest, the Sally Berry Fashion Show, and others. You will be receiving some more information for the daughters from the Imperial Commanders, okay? But just let me encourage everybody, okay? Register. When the housing comes out, get your housing. We have 12 hotels here in the city of Philadelphia to accommodate us. with roughly 2,600 rooms on peak night. Okay, so there's plenty of space, plenty of real opportunity. Come and have plenty of fun, do the business of the organization. And in light of the business, there will be elections held for both the daughters and the nobles. The noble side, we will elect a new Imperial Outer Guard, a 1, 2, and 3-year auditor, as well as a 2-year and a 3-year grievance and appeals committee member. Okay, so take note, pay attention, show up, get the business done, have a great time, enjoy the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. Okay, and we look forward to all of you. All attendees at our annual sessions are not required to have been vaccinated. We request and we urge that you do get vaccinated, not only as a protection for yourself, but for all the many others who will be in attendance. We are taking other precautionary steps to make this a safe and healthy convention. The seating will be arranged so that there is a 3-foot minimal social distancing. We have free N95 masks that will be given to each attendee who registers, as well as an 8-ounce bottle of hand sanitizer. So come on out, protect yourself, support the organization, but just remember that you're not required, okay? We're not requiring you to have vaccination, but we strongly and emphatically urge it. Hey everyone, I know there's been a lot of questions about coming back in person. Administrative Bulletin number 5 was circulated last week. It spells out the steps of how to get a dispensation for an in-person event. You do not need a dispensation, okay, to have your regularly scheduled court or temple meeting. Okay. You merely need to make certain that you outline what is going to take place at the meeting, okay, your normal business meeting, okay, and make certain that your deputy for the Oasis and Desert understand that clearly. As far as events are concerned, you can have an in-person event by submitting a dispensation to the Office of the Imperial Potentate. We will CC the Imperial Commanders when we make a decision. You have to give a description of the event, a copy of your local COVID-19 restrictions and or guidelines, okay? And you must submit it 60 days prior to the scheduled date. Now, the 60-day requirement does not apply to community service events, but anything else, it has to be 60 days in advance, okay? Or you can request a waiver on the late fee from me, okay? And this includes balls and barbecues and whatever else, you want to do. I guess I should add to that you will not need a dispensation to have hospitality at the session. Okay? I will not issue one, which means you have no insurance company to cover you. You are doing these events as private citizens. You cannot and will not utilize the name and imagery of this Imperial Council or the Imperial Court, okay, in hosting the event. These will be private events hosted by private individuals. Okay, make certain and be clear that you can't title it under the name of your temple or your court or any other related entity to this Imperial Council. And make certain that if you are going to do a hospitality, that you get your own event insurance to protect you. I've received a question concerning whether or not there would be a special section of the Imperial Council, Imperial Court Souvenir Journal dedicated solely to illustrious potentates and commandresses of 2020. The answer to that question is no. If your class wants to put in an ad, if you want to put in an ad personally, you are welcome to do so. Okay, but we will not be dedicating a portion of the souvenir journal to classes and or individuals. A question came to me about exaltations for 2020. All potentates, all commandresses for the year 2020 will receive their exaltations and their past commandresses degrees in Philadelphia during the session. I received a question concerning exaltations and creations virtually. Let me say this. If we continue to progress through the pandemic as we have, and we continue to have our annual session, all exaltations, all past commander's degrees will be given at the session only. As far as creation is concerned, we will continue virtual creations. We have one scheduled for July. We have another one scheduled very near the end of the year. And at least through the tenure of my term of office, we will continue to do virtual creations. Received a question about communication. We try to make it as effective as possible. Okay. I've issued so far this year 5 active administrative bulletins. I also, during my visits in temple meetings, court meetings, gala days, desert conferences, give other information, okay, sometimes reiterating information to the membership. Be clear and understand this. There is no interpretation of what I say or what I write. It is what it is. If I said it, it's so. Follow the verbal and or written direction that you are given. And if people stop trying to assess what I'm saying and interpret what I'm saying and just follow what I'm saying and or writing, they'll be okay. The problem is that people want to listen to the street committees, the sleeper cells, and all those unofficial mediums, okay, that circulate information. That's a bad thing to do. When I write something, it goes to every deputy in the domain, male and female, and every recorder and recordress in the domain, as well as the Imperial Council Divan, the past Imperial Potentates, the Imperial Court Divan, and the Imperial Commanders. So the sources are multiple. They should be shared, okay? And my direction is clear. There's no need to interpret it. It's clear. It's definitive. Now, will I sometimes make decisions that slightly alter it, depending on the circumstances and the request that comes in? Yes, I'll do that. But only take what I write or what I say, not how other people spin it or interpret it. Been a question about a rapid COVID test at the session. We are exploring the possibility of gaining the resource from local health providers, and if it's offered to us, we will accept it. Okay, the other precautions that we're implementing is we're going to be doing temperature checks at the entrances to all meetings. We are going to take the even number chairs out of every row for seating so that there is approximately 36 inches between you and the next person. We are providing free N95 masks, probably a quantity of about 8 to 10, as well as 1 to 2 bottles of hand sanitizer. Each bottle contains 8 ounces. A constant question that gets asked of me is whether or not there'll be a testimonial held in my honor. I'm pleased to say that the committee and my family are preparing an event for August 14th, which is Saturday, from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Downtown Marriott Hotel. The registration information will be available shortly. Okay. I welcome anybody who wants to attend, and I'm humbled by the fact that there are those who feel that I'm worthy of such an honor. Closing out my comments. It's important to communicate, but it's important to communicate through the proper channels. Our media and relations department is doing an excellent job communicating official directives from this office, from the office of the Imperial Commanders, to all the nobles and daughters across the domain. Now, I am aware that some deserts have set up their own media relations departments, okay, to assist with getting the information out to their desert. Let me say this and let me be clear. No desert is to send anything out until it has cleared it with the Imperial Media Relations Department. Its director, Dion Hose, its administrator, Joanne Avery, and certainly the members of the department. Because sometimes we have to retract some information. Okay? So they can't deliver information that we retracted. Okay, they have to deliver the information that we direct. That's a pretty plain and simple statement. As far as the domain is going, it's going good. Okay, folk are still connected, through prayer calls and other types of virtual meetings and activities. Folk are raising money. Okay, so we're still here. We're still in the game. But it's important to remember, this quest is not about any individual, including the 44th Imperial Potentate. This is about everyone, everybody. So it is important that we all act in the best interest of everyone and ourselves simultaneously. And then we don't have to be concerned whether we will continue. We'll just have to be concerned with how large we really want to grow. I've had the fortune to charter several new temples. I am chartering a new temple on May 29th in Washington, D.C. There will be another temple chartered in Washington, D.C. shortly thereafter. I have two UD temples, that I'm going to charter prior to the session. Okay, I think all total, maybe we're about up to maybe 10 new chartered temples, over 1,100 newly created nobles, a significant reclaiming of members who had left. We're working at this as hard as we can. And if you listen, you hear me say we. It's not me. I merely give direction and task. Okay. People like Joanne Avery, Terrence Anderson, Dwayne Thomas, John Goss, and others are working assiduously, okay, to assist, promote, and sustain this organization. So I'm not going to steal anybody else's thunder. Okay, the only thing I take claim to, I was smart enough to try and find the right person to do the job to benefit all of us. After that, I'm out. My hands are off of it. So just know that a lot of the great work that you see being done, okay, it's being done by people other than me. Okay. And that is to include our office staff in Memphis, Tennessee. Those ladies work hard for us. Okay, they do a great job. And if we cooperate with them, we can probably get straight any problem that we might face or encounter. So having said that, okay, have a great day. Have a great night. Have a better day tomorrow. Urge and ask God to give you another day. It's only one day at a time. Nothing, no more. Good night.